Hi, Omega Khaos again, with another online tech profile. At this time, I am showing my update Melodious tech with its new fusion support from Crossed Souls and Clash of Rebellions. So let's see the deck. So first I play one Mozarta, the Melodious Master, just one, because you're not going to be able to summon it that often, but you can send it to the graveyard with Crystal Rose. So you can, then of course the Crystal Rose gets the name and then you can use it as fusion material with Soprano. Then one Chopina, the Melodious Master, also pretty good, but again you're not going to summon it very often because the high level Melodious monsters are pretty inconsistent to use, unfortunately. Then two energy the Melodious Diva, a very important card for this deck, of course, because all personal Melodious monsters cannot be destroyed by card effects when this is on the field. And when it's on the field, all fairy type monsters gain 300 attack, so it's definitely a really good card. Mostly summoned with Transmodify. Then one of the, of course, key cards is Soprano, Melodious Songstress, because with this card you can fusion summon without actually using polymerization. So when it's special summon, you can get the Melodious monster from your graveyard to your hand, so that's pretty good. And once per turn you can fusion summon one Melodious fusion monster from your X deck using the monsters you control as fusion materials, and including this card. So it's definitely really good. Too bad that it can't fusion with the monsters in your hand. So that's kind of unfortunate, but still it's a really good card and very essential if you want to summon out your Melodious fusions. Then free Canon, the Melodious Diva, which can just spell someone when you control a Melodious monster. So it's just good for rank 4 plays and all that. And of course level 4 for Transmodify plays to go into energy. Then 2 Aria, the Melodious Diva, another very essential card for this deck, because when this special summon card is on the field, Melodious monster control can be targeted by card effects and cannot be destroyed by battle. So that if you have Elegy and Aria both on the field, your opponent really can't do much if they don't have an effect that doesn't target and doesn't destroy. So that's, yeah. But of course it doesn't have a very high attack, and Elegy doesn't either, so you're mostly going to be stalling with these two cards. And you also now only run 2 of this card because it can become too cloaky at times, because you don't really want this card in your hand. You mostly want to summon it from the deck with first movement solo, or from the graveyard with your Call of Haunted or Oasis, so yeah. Then 3 Sonata, the Melodious Diva, which can just summon from the hand, and all 3 the monsters you control gain 500 attack and defense when this +1 card is on the field. So it's pretty good. Then 3 Crystal Rose, which comes out in Clash of Rebellions. It's very good card in this deck, because with this card the high level Melodious monsters become a lot more usable for fusion plays. Before you had to use something like polymerization to be able to fusion summon your Bloom Diva. But now with this card you can just send to the graveyard, so this card then gains the name. So it's basically a support card for both Melodious and Geminate archetypes. And you can banish a fusion monster from the graveyard to a spell summon card from the graveyard. So it's definitely a really good card. And the last 2 monsters are in the main deck are too honest. So of course really good in this deck, light based, and also of course it's a fairy for Transmodify plays. There are 2 other Melodious monsters that come out in Clash of Rebellions, but I'm not sure if I want to play them. that is Opera, Melodious, Diva, and Tom Tom. Opera is 2300 attack beater, and Tom Tom search for penetration and special summons. But they are not really that great, I think, but I will probably have to test them out. But they are currently not on Dev Pro yet as well. They are currently only on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Salvation. So maybe I will add them in, but not sure yet. Then spells, 3 first movement solo, of course, very essential card for this deck, because if you control no monsters, you can spell summon a level 4 lower Melodious monster from your deck. So yeah, just get your Aria from the deck and something like that, so, or Soprano, so it's definitely a really good card. Then True Intense Modify, they go into energy mostly, so it's definitely a really good card in this deck. Might even run 3 of this card, I'm not sure yet. Then 2, Celestial Transformation, which allows you to summon a freedom monster from a hand, but its attack becomes hard and it's destroyed in the end phase. Mostly it's used to spell summon Eliasir from the hand, but then it's not affected by the destruction effect, but its attack still is hard, unfortunately. Or for some other plays with Soprano and all that. So it's definitely not a bad card, but I might take this out in the future because it's kind of a minus, of course. Like really bad one, but we'll see. Then 2 Mystical Space Typhoon and 1 Raigeki. Now the traps. First the revival cards, because revival cards are pretty good in this deck. Revive your energy and Aria to get the lock on the field again, or for fusion plays as well, to get Soprano from the graveyard and all that, so it's definitely a good run revival cards, around 3 Core Haunted and 2 Voices of the Dragon Souls, so yeah, definitely I think the right amount. Then the other taps, 1 Morning, Compose Evocation Device, Bottomless Subhole, and 2 Phase Chain. Now the extra deck, first the fusions, I think the main fusion you want to bring out, Bloom, Diva, the Melodious, Muse. It requires 1 Melodious Master and 1 Melodious Monster. Which of course Melodious Masters are the peak Melodious Monsters. It's just of course harder to summon than the other fusion, but it's also a lot more powerful, because it can be destroy battle or card effects and you take no battle damage. And if this card battles a plus 1 monster, without damage calculation you can inflict damage equal to the difference of this card's original attack and opponent's monster's attack. So, and then you destroy the opponent's monster. So definitely a really powerful card. It's pretty similar to Yuvel, but even better basically. So yeah, and if you have lock on the field, this card becomes very devastating. If of course Aria. Then the other fusion that is a lot easier to summon, and it's also pretty good, but of course not as powerful as Bloom Diva. It's Superta, the Melodious Maestra, but it's also Maestra monster, so you can use it as fusion material as well for Bloom Diva. So it has 2400 attack, it only requires 2 Melodious Monsters, and Guild-Best target up to 3 cards in any graveyard. Banish them if you do, this card gains 200 attack for each card banished by this effect, but this effect can only be used once while this card is faced upon the field. So it's basically like a beater that can disrupt your opponent's graveyard and all that. So I think it's a pretty decent card. Hopefully Melodious Heartstop gets some more fusions pretty soon. And also it probably will in the future it probably will use other summoning mechanics as well, such as fusions and Exist monsters. So then the Exist monsters, mostly of course rank 4s, because they are Omega, very Chirugula of course because it's fairy deck, Dark Villain Exist Dragon, Gorgon Ultimate Knight, number 1 of Fear Arena Zero, number 1/1, Saturn Arc, Costas, the Skullbasket Musketeer, East Exo Knight, Kawaii, and finally one rank 3, if I want to overlay with both Sonatas, one of Sandmains. So this was my update Melodious deck. It's definitely a pretty fun deck to play and has some potential, but it's still not very competitive, of course. It still needs a lot more support to be good enough for that. But it's definitely can be a very powerful deck, especially if you get a look on the field with Arya and Energy early in the game. Then your opponent really can't do much. So, I hope you enjoyed this deck profile. For now, goodbye and Omega Khaos out.